Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Life on the Wrist. Hope you all are doing well today. Tag Heuer has released a new connected watch. I know that you probably have your own opinions about smartwatches, but Tag Heuer released a pretty cool one. This is a Mario connected watch coming from the famous Nintendo series Mario Brothers. And so they've released a connected watch that's specific, with many different elements that pay tribute to Mario and all of the history that Nintendo has created with this icon of a character. And so what I thought I would do is talk through this watch, as I do in many of these videos, talk through the watch, give you my thoughts on it, and make sure that you have all the up-to-date information on this piece. I'm going to start at the beginning of this video by saying I do not have this watch in my possession, so if you are looking for a video where you're able to see it in the metal, my hands kind of touching the watch, this isn't the video for you. But as always, I'll make sure I put up a ton of pictures and videos of this watch so that you're able to see it as I talk through sort of the basics of the watch, and then obviously give you my thoughts on it. So put it at the beginning of the video, so no need to hate. So Tag Heuer released a Mario connected watch. Now I actually, the first time I actually saw this piece was actually from someone who DM'd me on Instagram. They sent this a picture of this watch, was like, what do you think is going to happen about this watch? So first time I saw it was actually someone directing me towards it. I wasn't really on Instagram a ton over the last couple days, so besides the point, came through a DM, and so I did a little bit of research on this watch. To give you some of the basics of this watch, this is based off of the base connected watch that Tag Heuer creates. It's a 45mm connected watch that's, I think, runs an Android system. The watch itself is, I think, in stainless steel. It has, this specific piece has a really interesting bezel to it. So if you look at the bezel, at 12 o'clock you have the Tag Heuer logo. At 3 o'clock you have one of the mushrooms that is very iconic within the Mario series. At 6 o'clock you have one of the sort of tubes that's also very iconic. And then at 9 o'clock you have one of the stars, the superstars. That's around the bezel of the watch. The watch itself, like I said, stainless steel. If you look at the crown, it's actually signed with an M for Mario, and then the interface is really cool as well. So if you have the chronograph interface, if you look at the 3 o'clock subdial, you actually have a little image of Mario. Then you also have the steps at 3 o'clock. You have the little date window between 4 and 5, and then you can also have a timer over on the left side. The watch itself also comes on a red and black strap, and so very, in line with the Mario kind of motif to it. Now, I know what you're thinking, did they just basically put a bunch of images and adjust the watch a little bit to be a Mario-inspired watch? There are some other functionalities that are specific for this watch that sort of gamify your everyday life and the rewards that you can get for achieving specific fitness goals that you have already with your watch. So if you have a smartwatch, you probably are used to, let's say if you have Apple Watch, closing your rings or going into competitions with people. But this watch kind of gamifies a little bit more in a Mario-inspired way. So one of the things that it does is it tracks the amount of steps that you take in a given day, and at different percentages of your goal, it actually has really cool animations. So at 25%, if you hit 25% of your intended steps for that day, Mario actually comes on and eats a mushroom that supersizes him. At 50% of the steps that you take, if you reach 50% of the steps, your step goal, Mario is going to travel down one of those green pipes, which is on the bezel, but he will travel down one of those green pipes. At 75%, he comes in contact with a superstar, which makes him invincible. And then at 100%, once you reach your entire goal for the steps of that given day, Mario actually climbs a flagpole, which is what happens when you end up achieving some sort of you achieve some sort of victory in a Mario-inspired game. So they've gamified the athletic, or I guess the activity goals that you have when it comes to a smartwatch, and given it a Mario-inspired flair to it, which I think is really cool. I think there's a lot of potential here as well. The watch itself is actually a 46mm case. I messed that up. So it's quite a large watch, which allows you to be able to see the interface quite nicely. And I think that's really important when it comes to the fact that this is going to be a Mario-inspired piece. What's really interesting about this is the watch is actually a limited edition. So there's a limited amount of Mario connected watches that are going to be sold. I couldn't find an exact number of these that are going to be sold, but it is a limited edition. And when you flip the watch over, it actually says limited edition on the case back. The watch is going to retail at Tag Heuer boutiques for $2,150 US, which compared to other smartwatches is maybe a little bit more expensive. But when you look at it compared to maybe a Tag Heuer watch, this might be a fairly attractive place for you to go. So Super Mario inspired connected watch. I think there's a lot of potential for the future of these watches as Tag Heuer is able to iterate off of a Mario Brothers kind of theme here. Nintendo obviously has many characters, and so I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a Luigi connected watch come from Tag Heuer in the future, or Peach, or Toad. I can see there being plenty of these coming out in the future. I think this also makes this watch a little bit, it makes this watch, or I guess the series of watches, gives it the potential of being very collectible. I think what's really interesting is when Mario Bros sort of came out, there's a whole generation that really was directly impacted by this series. And I think now is the time where those individuals maybe are coming to a place where they can buy a more expensive piece or looking to purchase a watch like this. And so I think this was a really great move from Tag Heuer. But I also think it means that there might be a completely new level of collector out there who's looking to get maybe a whole range of different Mario Brothers connected watches, and this would make it very collectible. Now, if you think about it from a practical sense, why would you have more than one connected watch? I understand that. So I think that might be a little bit more towards the watch enthusiast, the Tag Heuer enthusiast, as opposed to the other end, which is sort of the connected watch space. It's going to be interesting to see if other brands that make smart watches do these types of collaborations to perhaps entice the consumers to purchase a smartwatch that is a limited edition based on some of those ideas. So yeah, that is the smartwatch. I guess I can kind of give you my thoughts on what I personally feel about this watch now. So when Tag Heuer released their connected watch, I thought it was a very interesting move, especially when you consider other smartwatch brands like an Apple Watch. They're much more affordable, and I think it was targeted at a completely different audience that perhaps was, looking to enter into perhaps buying a more expensive piece, but wanted something like a smartwatch and not something mechanical or manual wind. So I think it was really a different place that Tag Heuer was going to with the connected watch. I think if you think about watches that it probably competes with, Hublot makes a smartwatch. It's probably one of the main competitors, I'd say, and it wasn't really competing with Apple or Android products, which are retailing for definitely sub $1,000 US. So I thought it was a kind of a different mark, and I've said this previously, but I think kind of smartwatches are smartwatches I don't consider watches. I consider them wearable technology, and I try to keep them separate. This limited edition, especially with a theme behind Mario Brothers and obviously a Mario inspired watch, I think is trying to hit on a different sort of realm. Definitely not the smartwatch buyers who are buying Apple Watches and Android products. It's definitely those who are looking to buy a smartwatch from a watch brand like Tag Heuer or Hublot, but want something a little bit more interesting. Mario Bros has been around since 1981, so I think that generation is maybe getting into perhaps watches that are coming out. I think the fact that it's limited edition will also probably entice some people to take a look at this watch and maybe pursue it. I think that's also something else. But I personally get it. I actually think I would. I think it's a really cool sweet spot within connected watches, because you're not getting sort of the basic model, you're getting something limited edition, and I think that makes it a little bit more special of a smartwatch, which I think now has sort of become almost like a commodity, not a commodity, but something that everyone has, I think I've watched videos where people talk about it, it seems like when you are, I think John Mayer mentioned this in his second Talking Watches, he said, when you come into this world, it's as if you're given, here is your iPhone, here is your Instagram handle. These are the basic things that you need. And I think that smartwatches might be part of that. Here's your iPhone, here's your smartwatch, you're ready to go. This feels like a little bit different. It feels like something a little bit more collectible and something a little bit more unique, and sort of differentiates you from the other smartwatch wearers, which I think is why I sort of like this. It's kind of like when I think about the watches that I'm really interested in wearing, I try to get something interesting that I'm interested in that would maybe make me stand out compared to other collectors. And I think maybe this is also hitting on maybe that desire for me when it comes to collecting watches. So interesting thoughts. Interesting thoughts there. Let me know what you think about the Tag Heuer Mario connected watch. I'd love to hear your thoughts. This is an interesting piece. I think it hit Instagram and really went crazy, and I think there's a lot of positive and negative feedback, obviously, as there always is. But I'd love to hear your thoughts, so let me know in the comment section below. Feel free to DM us on Instagram or any of our social medias if you want to have a more deep conversation. I'd love to chat about this watch. If you are new to Life on the Wrist, we create videos about watches, just about any topic you can think of in the watch world, we're covering it. So if you like these types of videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button and share this video with your friends who might be interested in watches. We'd love to have you as part of the Life on the Wrist family. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like button for us, it really does help us out with our YouTube analytics. And if you want daily content from us, be sure to head over to our social medias so that you can get daily content from us. We create an article in the editorial section of our website for every single one of our videos that we make. So if you want some more information about this piece and you want to check out our article on our website, be sure to head over to lifeonthewrist.com and you can check out the editorial section. Very easy to navigate there. I'm sure you can figure it out. There'll be a link in the description to our website. And with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time.